Hey you guys, it's Jason from Square Eyed Entertainment. After months of procrastination about playing the Advanced Warfare campaign, I've finally decided to give it a spin for you. So, just to give you a bit of a backstory, over recent years I've bought numerous COD titles and have been completely underwhelmed by the narrative. The switching between characters thing just didn't do it for me. Basically, I decided to give this game a go because I heard that it had a consistent narrative for one character from start to finish, and I suppose it's not that surprising then that after completing the campaign, this has probably become my favourite COD campaign to date. Now, the storyline itself is a fairly basic one in which the hero, Jack Mitchell, he's the guy voiced by Troy Baker, struggles to determine which side he should be on in the fight against the terrorist organisation, the KVA. He has links to both the US Marine Corps and also the private security force Atlas. That's the one headed up by Jonathan Irons, Kevin Spacey's character. And basically he just needs to decide which one of the two are fighting the good fight and make sure that he's on the right team. In all honesty, nothing too innovative in terms of the narrative for this game. It is held together really well by some fantastic cutscenes and obviously the all-star cast, but I don't think it's going to be winning any awards for storytelling anytime soon. The gameplay itself for this game probably sees the biggest adaptation to the, what we consider the classic COD formula since the inception of the franchise. And this is a lot down to the addition of the exosuit. Now, the device allows advanced movement options as well as tactical upgrades, things like the exo cloak where you can become invisible for short periods of time, or the jump boost option which allows you to jump over cars from building to building, etc. Now the upgrades do change the pace of the game completely. You're able to run, jump and fight at levels that you just wouldn't be able to in the previous COD games. And the campaign does make great use of these features. It gives you exactly the right ability for the mission that you're currently playing, and basically take those away and re-equips you with the things that you need for the next mission. It does work quite well for the main part. You do find yourself missing some of the abilities if you move from a mission, for example, where you have the jump boost and you're able to bounce from building to building or jump over vehicles and people, and then you move on to the next mission and you don't have that. You do find yourself trying to toggle it, and it does result in a little bit of, you feel like the character's a little bit lethargic because they don't move as quickly as they did in the previous mission. It's not too much of a concern, it just becomes a little bit annoying and takes a little bit of getting used to. But like I said, overall the exo abilities are really well integrated with the missions in the campaign. So in addition to the exos, the game also sees the addition of some pretty interesting vehicles and weaponry. You get to operate giant mech suits, those are similar to the likes of Titanfall or Avatar. You also get to play on hoverbikes, speedboats, and at one point fly a jet fighter. They've even designed the whole conventional weapon lineup, something that is pretty similar to any new iteration of COD. But they've added a couple of interesting bits. You've got threat grenades which tag and highlight opponents through walls. You've got the smart grenades which seek out opponents and then explode next to them. And they've even thrown in a couple of kind of over-the-top laser-based handheld rifles. Pretty cool, but a little bit, OTT for my taste. So for this next section, I've got to be honest about my reasons for actually conducting the review. I've read a lot of reviews on this game, and a lot of critics have brought this game under fire because of its inability to move away from that classic COD formula. And I do get where these guys are going with this. They'd like to see something new, and a lot of the COD games recently have felt a bit samey. Personally, I think it was a wise decision on behalf of the developers not to go too far away from that classic formula, because it's obviously something that works. The sales of the COD games are always really high up there on the rankings. The COD franchise for me, it feels like it's got to the point where it's almost a comfy pair of shoes situation, where you can go and buy the latest COD game and you know that the gameplay is going to be very, very similar to the previous game with a reworked narrative, and I don't mind that at all for the time being. I think that a point will come where the developers have to go, the consumers are really asking for something new here, let's take this back to the drawing board. But until that point comes, there's no real incentive for the developers to take a risk on that level until it's something that we really are looking for. When that point does actually come, I'm sure that the developers will accommodate and they will take it back to the drawing board and give us something new. And I am quite interested to see what happens at that point, but I can't see that coming anytime soon. The next couple of iterations of COD, I would imagine, are either going to go one of two ways. They're either going to look further into the future and look into making it an almost sci-fi based game with more advanced weaponry, those kind of things, or they're going to take it right back to the kind of classic COD games where you're looking at World War I, World War II eras. I think that's the option I'd prefer. I'd really like to see them do another World War I, World War II era game, because I did find that really enjoyable when those games came out. But who knows which direction they're going to take that in. I'm sure that I'll be here to review the next game when it does come out. Thanks a lot for your time today, guys. I've been Jason for Square Eyed Entertainment.